Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick back on the FFG webpage for X-Wing because we just had Wave 14 announced, which includes one pack for the Rebellion, one pack for the Empire, and most notably, we have the fix for the T65 X-Wing. It is finally here, thank the maker. Let's have a look at what the Rebel pack involves. Now before we go over to the spread, let's have a quick look at the two cards that were revealed improper. This is Targeting Scrambler, a systems upgrade for 0 points. At the start of the planning phase, you may receive a weapons disabled token to choose a ship at range 1 to 3 and assign it the scrambled condition. And scrambled reads, when attacking a ship at range 1 that is equipped with the Targeting Scrambler upgrade, you cannot modify your attack dice. At the end of the combat phase, remove this card. So it's a bit of a mind warp thinking about it. Basically, you read this from the point of view of the opponent, meaning you give this card to your opponent and then your opponent cannot modify their dice if they're within range 1 of your ship. Now, I don't think this card's crazy. I don't think it's all powerful, but I do think it's going to find a very, very happy home on the Lambda shuttle, particularly the Palpmobile. It usually runs collision detector if it can't afford something like electronic baffle. As a 0 point systems upgrade, this is going to be a great panic switch if your opponent's ship gets into range 1 of your Palp shuttle. It's not going to be relevant all the time, but it's going to have its uses. It's going to be more relevant more often than collision detector. And I just like it. It's nice and simple. It's printed here in a U-Wing pack. I can't see how it's going to be great on a U-Wing. Maybe there are situations where you want your U-Wing to be a bit more of a support ship, and there's going to be these scenarios where you have to protect it. I get that. But look, I think the Lambda shuttle is really where this wants to be sitting. Alright guys, and for the rest of this video, we're going to have a nice fly in space. Because really those two cards were the only thing that was properly spoiled. The rest is here on this spread. And although we can't really make out a lot what's going, we can make out a bit. And this is all themed around Saul Guerrera's Cavern Angels. The kind of quasi sort of freedom fighter terrorists from Rogue One that have sort of become this splinter cell of the Alliance. Now, it's interesting because a lot of people, including myself, theorize that maybe these guys would be affiliated with the Scum faction. Maybe they'd be sort of Rebel or Scum if there was some kind of weird way to introduce that. But no, they're Rebels. And I think in hindsight, it's probably the best way to approach this. Just doing a basic fix for the T65 and the U-Wing for the Rebel faction. Let's first of all have a quick look at these pilot cards. We can't really see a lot what's going on. We just have these two pilot cards for the U-Wing. A Pilot Skill 5 unique pilot something, starts with M I believe, and a Pilot Skill 6 Saul Guerrera. Moving on to the X-Wings, we have 5 copies of a PS1 generic, assumedly without an APT. But what's really cool about this is we previously only had a Pilot Skill 2 generic in the Rookie Pilot, and that cost 21 points. So this is going to, at the very most, cost 20 points, which is significant because you can field this as a 5 of and a list of 100 points, and possibly some 0 point upgrades, depending on what we see in the rest of this spread. We have some fixes for the T65 in this article, but we cannot see what their squad point cost is. If any of those cost 0 points, it means you can fly this as a 5 of with that 0 point upgrade. Thankfully, they gave us 5 copies of this card, so even if you can do it with no other upgrades, you can just field 5 of these on the board. You don't have to buy multiple copies of this pack. They've given you that out of the box, which is really good to see. As far as the unique pilots go, we have a Pilot Skill 4, 5, 7. We can just make out that each of these do indeed have an APT. We can't really see what's going on with the Pilot Skill 4 or 5. They have some kind of pilot ability. But we can see here the Pilot Skill 7. His name is Colby Sperado. After you perform a boost or barrel roll action, you may flip your equipped servo motor S-foil upgrade cards. And this is one of the upgrade cards we're going to talk about in the spread. But this is very interesting. It looks like the X-Wing has some kind of flip title, or in this case, a modification that works a lot like the pivot wing with the U-Wing, which is really cool. Let's have a look down here on the spread of upgrade cards. We have a copy of Crackshot. Awesome. Not a bad card to get reprinted. I don't really know why it's in this pack, but I'm not going to complain. We have 2 copies of this card here. and we can't really tell what it is. When I first saw this, I thought it was some kind of new torpedo, which would make perfect sense because both of these ships can take torpedoes. If you have a look at the art, it kind of looks like there's a nose of a ship and two trailing torpedoes heading away from it. But if you have a look at the text box, there's no attack target lock, attack focus. There's no attack header at all, which leads me to think it's probably not a torpedo. I mean, I guess you could have a torpedo card that doesn't have an attack. That'd be some kind of weird new design space we haven't seen before. We'll see, I don't know, but given the fact that we're not really seeing anything else for the U-wing in this spread, I'm going to guess it's some kind of U-wing upgrade. That's my guess anyway. We have what would appear to be some kind of title in Renegade Rebel. I'm going to guess T65 X-Wing only title could be the rest of that text. It could say T65 X-Wing and U-Wing title. I don't know. Given the way it's spaced on the card, we can't really make it out. You may equip something modification, so we're probably going to see something similar to Vaxi or Royal Guard tie here. You can equip an extra modification upgrade. We don't know if it's going to have a hard point reduction like Vaxi. My thoughts on that kind of approach is I don't really want a carbon copy of Vaxi. Not that I don't think Vaxi as a concept would work on the X-Wing. I do think it does need that much of a push, just like Vaxi gave the Kirax. I just want to see different ideas. I want to see different flavors on different ships. Just seeing the same thing on multiple ships isn't really what we want to see here. We have on the end of the spread here a copy of Scrambled, which we saw before. Moving down to the bottom row, we have a pivot wing title for the U-Wing. Now, the three cards here are the front and back of the servo motor S-foil upgrade card for the X-Wing. This is a new modification for it, T65 X-Wing only. Oh, actually, while we're talking about that, it is worth noting that this does say T65. And that is significant because nowhere on the X-Wing card does it specify T65. So it's probably going to have, I don't know, in the FAQ or something, from now on we will refer to X-Wings as T65 X-Wings for the sake of things that are unique only to T65s. I was a bit concerned about that because we do need a way of distinguishing between the two different kinds of X-Wings. Otherwise, upgrade cards that only go on the T65 can go on the T70 as well. So there needs to be that distinction. So I'm glad to see that they've just said, nope, T65s. They'll probably explain in an FAQ what T65 means, but we as fans of the game know exactly what that means. The S-foils can be opened and closed, which is probably that little block of text that'll be sitting next to S-foils. We don't know what this means. We can see on the closed version of the card, reduce your something value by 1. I'm going to guess that's your primary attack value. Given that the S-foils open up to increase cooling on those cannons, makes the cannons run more efficient, means they can run a bit hotter. That's why the S-foils exist in the first place. I'm going to guess that's something to do with primary weapon. And then we have something to do with boost. Maybe your action bar gains the boost icon as long as the S-foils are closed. That'd be pretty cool. And is the something phase you something something? Okay, that's something to do with how you open and close the S-foils. Makes perfect sense. If we have a look at the S-foils in the open position, you may include something something and what looks like a Talon roll icon, which is very, very exciting, I must say. Yeah, that's insane. If there was a way to give the X-Wing Talon rolls, that'd be just really, really good. The rest of it's really hard to make out. One thing I want to say about this image is it's not a very high resolution image, and given that it's a massive spread as it is, we can't really tell what's going on here. But we can definitely see a boost icon on the closed version of the card, and what I think is a Talon roll icon on the open version of the card, and that's very exciting as it is. Moving along, we have a unique crew called Magvan or something like that. I don't really know enough about the Cavern Angels lore to recognize what this is, but you guys in the comment section, if you know who this is, let me know. It's a rebel only unique crew of some description. After you something something Y on the something. Okay, we don't have any idea what this does, but it'll be curious to see. Another unique crew is always good. A copy of Flight Assist Astromech. I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping we'd see a lot of Flight Assist Astromechs in the X-Wing fix, because this card is going to be nuts with the X-Wing, especially now that it's getting fixed, especially now that its power level is going to hopefully match everything else in the meta right now. I was really hoping we'd see at least 2 or 3 of this card in this pack, so yeah, a bit sad about that, but good to see at least one in it. And last but not least, we have something really spicy. This is Saw Gerrera. Cost 1 point, unique crew, rebel only. When attacking, you may suffer 1 damage to change all your eyeball results to critical results. And I really love what this is doing. It's kind of on the same par of Darth Vader. Although Darth Vader is guaranteed, he costs more points and you have to take 2 damage. And that's not quite what Saw Gerrera is doing. Saw Gerrera still needs his attack to hit. He's going to be high value on ships that can sling a lot of dice and potentially get more eyeball results. I see him being useful on, say, the Falcon, if there's a way to slip that in. Maybe Saw Gerrera and Finn on Rey could have some potential, although then you don't have Kanan Jarrus, and Kanan Jarrus is just amazing on Rey, so I don't know. We'll see how that fits in. But what I'm really excited for is Saw Gerrera on Dash Rendar with the title and heavy laser cannon. That, to me, just seems insane. Yeah, it's not as great as utility build as saying having Kanan or Kyle, but I think on that build, with a guaranteed 4 dice that doesn't usually play around with crits, this is going to be absolutely disgusting. It also opens up a lot more points for that build, so maybe on the second ship you can add some more points or stack some more points on Dash Rendar. I just like the opportunities that this opens up. I'm pretty confident that Saw Gerrera is going to find his way into the meta somehow. It's just the platform he's going to be on. And in the comment section, guys, if you have another idea for Saw Gerrera, let me know, because I'm very excited to see how he goes. Now, apart from all the cards on the spread, we do have some interesting things. We have the little weapons disabled and conditioned for the targeting scrambler. I get that. But what's really interesting is right next to them, we have an evade token. And right now, looking at all the cards and the pilots, there's no explanation as to why the evade token is there. And that could potentially mean that it works with one of these X-Wing upgrades. Potentially, although there's only one there, so I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it correlates to one of the U-Wing pilots. Giving the X-Wing a way to get evade tokens with some relative ease is something a lot of us has talked about as a great way to try and fix the X-Wing, and that's why I kind of think maybe it does have something to do with the X-Wing. But at the same time, if it does, surely you'd get more than one. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'd be very curious to find out. We have a lot of really cool, spicy things going on here, but I can't read the cards, and that really frustrates me. But in any case, I'm pretty confident that what's going on here is going to be good. I'm not too sure about the U-Wing. We just can't see enough cards on here that seem to give the U-Wing enough of a boost, but definitely the X-Wing. There are 2 cards here that are going to benefit the X-Wing. They might both cost 0 points. I mean, who knows? We'll see how that goes. We definitely have a fix that can go across all X-Wings. We have some kind of a title here which is flavoured towards Saw Gerrera's Cavern Angels, and maybe that can only go on these Cavern Angel cards. I mean, who knows? We'll see. We just don't have enough revealed right now. I'm excited to see where this goes. And yeah, in the comment section, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I really want to have a big chat about this expansion in particular. But stay tuned, guys, because in the next video, I'm going to talk about the TIE Reaper. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and I will catch you later.